The events discussed in today's video have been taken from stories told by members of my family, because personally, I have no memory of my actions. Some of what you're about to hear is mildly disturbing. It is thought that sleep terrors or night terrors affect around 40% of the world's children. So in the past few decades, around 1,925,000,000 kids have experienced these, in some cases, horrific episodes. And lucky me, from around the ages of 8 to 11, I was one of them. For most of my life, I've had a very unfortunate relationship with sleep, and all of that pretty much started when my brain and my body decided it was all aboard the terror train. Yeehaw! For anyone that doesn't know, sleep terrors or night terrors are a parasomnia, which is a very big and scary word which just makes the whole experience a bit more traumatizing, to be honest. In simplistic terms, it's an involuntary episode of intense fear that disrupts your sleep, often paired with sleepwalking just for a bonus. Nice! Now, night terrors are not like nightmares. They are an entirely different league. Night terrors saw what nightmares were doing and went, "Homa puro." People who experience night terrors remain asleep, but they are completely unaware of what is happening to such a degree that they will have no recollection of anything they may have said, done, or experienced the night before. This is very much true to my experience. Every time that I had a night terror and was told about it the next day, told about things that I was saying, things that I was doing, I wouldn't believe it because I remembered none of it. I mean, I knew I hadn't slept well. I would wake up the next day and I would feel tired, but I had no idea the horror movies I was bringing to life in my own head every time I closed my eyes. Now, there are many reasons why night terrors become an issue for children, such as stress, breathing disorders, mood disorders, sleep deprivation, fevers even. So basically what we've discovered here is I've been stressed, anxious and sleep deprived for over 2/3 of my life. Obviously I'm exaggerating, calm yourself. Get a wee bit personal, talking about my particular brand of night terrors. I would be completely asleep, but I would sleepwalk just to keep things interesting for my friends and family. I would talk also. I apparently had a lot to say for myself in my sleep, and get this! I would also have my eyes bolt wide open. Yep. So in this video, I'm going to quickly tell the tale of 3 of, shall we say, my personal favourites from my past. Night terror episode number 1 is called The Fire. On this particular evening, it began with a scream. For everyone else, that is. For me, I'd been wandering around our house for some time prior in a complete panic because, as far as I was concerned, our house was currently on fire. And that scream I mentioned, yeah, that was me banging on the front door because I couldn't get out. Thankfully, my sleepwalking self had not managed to locate the front door keys, because this could have had a very different ending. My parents, after hearing this during the night, finally found me screaming, banging on the front door and shouting things like, "We're all going to die." I was certain, I was arguing, I was adamant that this house was on fire and that our lives were in danger. It's important to mention at this point that when these episodes happened, I was completely inconsolable. I was completely assured that what I was feeling and living was real, which is actually a very common symptom for loads of people. So it was literally just a case of every time these happened, waiting for them to pass. Imagine how difficult that must have been to look into the eyes of someone that you know, see them look back at you, but there's nothing there. That was always the way it was described, that I would be so intensely petrified, I would be panicked, I would be upset, I would be inconsolable, but when you looked into my eyes, there was no emotion coming from there whatsoever. It was all in my voice, from things that I said, from my actions, but you look into my eyes and it looked like I was just, lights were on, no one was home. Of course, I was eventually put back to bed and I woke up the next day like nothing happened. Wee bit tame, wee bit boring. Let's try another one. Night terror episode 2 is called The Thing on the Stairs. Everything I can explain about this one comes directly from stories being told to me from things that I said mid-episode. Basically, I would be panicked and frantic and raving about something or someone that would always start by crawling its way up the stairs. My bedroom at the time looked out onto our top landing, which was very open, and from where my head lay on my bed, I could pretty much see the top of the stairs, and that's what I always said when it started, was that I was lying in bed and I saw this thing crawling up the stairs to come and get me. This night terror in particular was a repeater for me. There was only a few of those that would kind of arise multiple times, but I've been led to believe from what I've been told that this was the most frequent of the bunch. I would say the worst time that I encountered the thing ended with me pressed up against the wardrobe on my mum's side of the bed, frantically pointing and screaming across the room saying, "It's coming, it's coming." Sometimes I would say he, sometimes I would say it, but it would always be this same urgency that something or someone was coming for me. I would be completely panicked and completely afraid of this thing that did not exist to anyone else, but for me it was so real. I would back myself into corners and be physically shaking and sweating, which was a lovely, lovely pleasant thing to happen during every episode. And I was pointing across the room and I was just saying, "It's coming, it's coming, it's right there, can't you see it, it's coming?" And of course no one else could see anything. I never actually described the thing or the person, but it was definitely something or someone that I was clearly very afraid of. As a way of trying to calm me down, my mum would stand in front of me and almost huddle round me and say things like, "It can't get you, I'm right here, it can't get to you if I'm here." And I would just look her dead in the eye and say things like, "But it's right behind you." That's a little bit creepy, isn't it? Yeah. Nice. Will allow me to amp up the tension a little bit more for our final episode of the evening, the one you've all been waiting for. The man at my window. This one was another of my repeated night terrors, but it was very different in a few ways. Initially, it started out like many of the others, screaming, crying, shouting, pointing, fear, sweating, shaking, banging on the window. After a while, something very strange happened that didn't happen with any other night terror. I wouldn't scream, I wouldn't cry, I wouldn't point or shout or hit the window anymore. I would just get up out of bed, walk over to the window and just stand and stare at the man that I saw there. I would still look intensely frightened, I would still be shaken, I would still be visibly very, very fearful, but I just wouldn't say anything. I would just stand staring at my window, or the man that was at my window. Now this was completely impossible. It was a second story window. There is no way that anyone could have ever been at my window. But every time I was found out of bed just staring at my window, because after a while my parents just tended to check on me to see like, is she still in the house? Good vibes. Every time I would be found there just staring at the window, I would be adamant that he was there and that I couldn't go back to bed and that I couldn't sleep while he was there. And I would be visibly frightened, and you could hear it in my voice apparently, that I was very scared of whoever this person was. But of course, in reality, there was no one there. Or was there? I'd never really give any other detail. I'd never describe him or say that he'd speak to me, which I actually think was quite good, because imagine I was meeting someone that fitted a description that I had given during an episode out and about somewhere, and we just thought, crap, is there actually someone at my window? That could have gone so badly. But I definitely think the fact that I was so frightened to the point where I couldn't even physically do anything, I couldn't verbally say anything anymore, makes that the most frightening. And I worry constantly that my night terrors might come back. I don't know what I'd do. At this point, there's nothing you can do. Oh! I think it's safe to say that both myself, my friends and my family were thrilled when I grew out of them at the ripe old age of 11, because 3 years of terror was enough, quite frankly. That tends to be what happens with a lot of children that experience night terrors or sleep terrors. They do tend to grow out of them with age just as they get older, and they're not very common into adulthood, which is very comforting. So those are a few of my own scary true childhood stories, and since sharing is caring, feel free to pop yours down in the comments below if you feel like reliving childhood trauma like I do. As always though, thank you very much for watching. If you would like to see more Halloween-esque videos from me, I will put that playlist right up there. There is loads of lovely goodness. And in the spirit of Halloween, I'm gonna bang my horror movie playlist right down there. It's definitely worth a watch. There was loads of trailers and breakdowns and opinions and reactions, just all that good spooky fun stuff. As always, links to all these social medias are down in the description. That's where I tend to sound off. That's where I tend to say when videos are uploaded, any updates, any other stuff that I'm getting up to. But other than that, much love you guys, and I shall see you all at your bedroom window. I'm just kidding, I can't end that. I'll see you very soon. Bye!